There you go. Hodl, hodl, hodl. Save, save, save. Build it, build it, build it. Sound money. Sound
Sound
money.
money.
All right, we are live. All right, guys. Oh, let me turn my mask around. I always have to have it on because I never wear one. All right, we tweeted this out. It's going to be public. And so I want to welcome non-subscribers, and this is going to be a special thing. With Galilei was fortunate to be available, and
There you are. Look.
all right, great, okay. So Galilei was available, and so he's going to be able to outline the platform. The way this happened, guys, is last week I was out racing my razors and having a great time, and got wrecked but not ruined, just having fun. And came back, started doing a little homework, and there's this always this gold seasonal play. I knew it was in the back of my head, so I went and did all a little research on it, and decided, okay, this is a really a good trade because it's not just a seasonal. There's a lot of other factors coming into it, and we did break out into all new time highs, and then we sold off. So the timing was right, and we jumped in last Friday. We did a special show. I actually didn't even know where to do it because I was looking for the best place to use Bitcoin as collateral to buy gold. And one of the members, Galilee, he had already done all the homework on it, and he's really developed it. If you want to follow this trade, he will show you how to get on the platform. Please use his referral code. Apparently, about I don't know 30 or between, I don't know what he said, 30 to 50 of you have already 30. I think 30 have signed up, and
Yeah, it's 30.
hopefully he'll get 50 or 100 more because he's put a lot of work in this thing. I don't need it, and he certainly has earned it. So sign up under him. He'll he'll he's written. He actually has a program that he's written so you can figure out your own liquidation amount. It's a little. It's not the easiest platform to use, and I've had a little bit of trouble with it myself. I made the mistake in orders last night. I thought I'd sold more and bought less, and so I hit. But at any rate, we established the position around 1940, 1950 area last week. I only initially put in a Bitcoin and bought five, I think initially 400 ounces and then another 100 ounces. So about $1 million worth of gold. But the risk is the August low, and I didn't know if that was in yet. So I really didn't have it well margined enough. I did add, excuse me, another two Bitcoin, and then I added another two after that, just because, I didn't want some kind of flash crash to take me out. And I did use what I call it. If you guys are new and you haven't read my articles, just Google ugly old goat medium and put goat stops, and you'll see the article on goat stops. And basically, the way I teach people to trade is I see so many people, they take a position, they get stopped out, and then it immediately goes against them, or their trade works. So the way I knew it is don't take so large a position, take a small position, and then figure out where you'd normally put your stop and double down there. It kind of gives you a good psychic. Now, I thought this particular trade was good enough that I didn't, I want to warn everybody before we get going on this. There is a huge exchange risk here because I've never traded on this exchange, don't know from Adam. So don't put anything on any exchange that you can't afford to lose without disrupting your lifestyle. And so I did eventually back that thing up with four more Bitcoin, which would have covered me down to the lows. But if it had gone down there, I really would have wanted to double down. So I was prepared to actually put another five Bitcoin into it. As it turned out, I didn't need any. I mean, the timing was perfect. It happened on the 16th, which I also teach people that we tend to have volatile or trend changing days on the 16th, and 26th. And so that happened to work out. Again, everything just kind of fit on this trade. So we got lucky already. I've gotten all of my funds out. I'm just trading. I think I've got, we'll look at it, but Well, I can do the screen share now. How many people do we have watching right now? 26. All right. So that's good. And if you come in late, you can
click in and
oh,
at the bottom there.
all right.
Zoom image.
This one.
Down,
All right.
you're there.
Okay.
Click there.
Okay.
Click it.
Click it. This one or that one? This one?
That one.
Okay.
And then move around the image there. And then that green icon down there.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay. All right.
Choose the video right here. There,
This one?
the one on the bottom.
That one.
No, right here.
This one.
And
Okay.
then go share.
All right.
And then you can share whatever you want.
All right. So we are on screen share.
Yes, sir.
And we will go right to the account. And so the name of the exchange, and I'd never heard of it before, is Evolve. And there it is. You can see my position. I'm long 4.5 Bitcoin. Now, every one, that's Bitcoin, that's gold. Every one of a 100 ounce bar, 100 ounces of gold. So right now I'm long 450 ounces of gold. Now, if you notice, I have a profit. I've already taken out over a Bitcoin. So in profit alone, I've doubled my account. My equity is at 2.5. So I've got all my money out of the account. So one of the things I teach is you want to get your funds out there as quickly as possible. Now, the reason my account is more because I have been trimming. I trimmed last night. I sold it, I think, from 206 to 211, bought it back. I didn't do a very good job. Some of these people had some low ball orders in. Somebody bought under 1990 today. So this is a long-term position trading. I mean, I've got no desire to dump this thing until October, November period, probably at least mid-October. You just have so much working for it that it's, there's not too many times you have an opportunity like this. Now, I might be all wrong, but so far we're not. And right now I'm trading with what I call OPM, other people's money. And I thank all you traders out there.
The link for that app is down in the description.
Oh, okay. The link for this Evolve is down in the subscription. Now, the link that you'll be using is actually Galilee's link, because he's put a lot of work. He advised me that there's several other exchanges that offer the same type of service, but he found this one to be the best. It is different. It's not like BitMEX. You guys know I'm a big BitMEX fan, and I do think they have it down, but they don't offer anything like this. So I had to find another vehicle. So for now, I think I'm going to turn it over to you, Galilee, so you can outline the exchange and why you found it's the best, and then just teach people how it works. So how do I hand that off to him? Stop the share. All right. Here we go.
And it's all his.
All right. All right. It's on you, Galilee. You want to take over and just outline the stuff that you've done? And I also want to outline, guys, we did tweet this out. So this non-members can be watching this. So if you are a member or you want to retweet that to your members, they can be watching this now and learn, about this trade. Kind of follow us on it if they want to, and it's and go from there.
I'd send over the host to him, and
Yeah.
that way, if he wants to share,
Yeah,
he can do that.
give them the host. And, all right. Yeah, we had a little adversity on this trade. I think people were a little nervous because the market had already broke, but there's a lot of reasons, and that's outlined.
Okay,
If
he's
you,
ready.
Yeah, if you join
wants to share.
Yeah, guys, if you become an Ugly Old Goat member, we do have this Telegram group, and it's really turned. I had my fingers crossed, but it's really turned out to be a good teaching mechanism, and the members have really been pretty good to keep it relevant, and we just emphasize equity trading. We don't emphasize technicals, maybe a few fundamentals. If we get a little off base, then they've actually created an Ugly Old Goat troll box where you can say whatever you want, but we've kept it to focus on equity trading. So so it's really a darn good group. We also have created a separate group. So if you just want my comments on the market, you can just look at those and filter out everyone else. So anyway, let me hand it over to you, Galilee. You've done a great job, and you can explain this platform better than I can.
Yeah, cool. I can totally explain the platform. Let me pull that up. Are you seeing my screen? Are you seeing the chart?
Yes, sir. You are good.
Okay, it seems not loading.
Yeah, you're good. We can
Let's
see
start
it.
with this guide. Okay, cool. I wrote this little guide. Maybe Eddie, you can link it up in the description as well. That gives you the step-by-step of how to sign up and answers a lot of the questions that I've gotten.
Yeah, send that over. We'll do
Yeah,
it. We
send it
already
over in a
have your
sec.
link on there, but we'll put. Is that the link there?
Perfect.
I think that's it.
Yeah, there's a link in there too.
Okay.
So if we go to the actual website, which is not loading right now, so that's unfortunate. But in essence, there's a couple different exchanges out there that.
How do I put this in the corner, Eddie?
Minimize it.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Yo, I'm back. I think I dropped out.
Oh, okay.
He was
I
gone.
didn't know you're gone. I'm just sitting here.
He was gone.
Yeah, I was gone.
All right.
You have to give me the host back.
We're in no hurry here, and this is being recorded for posterity, so people can tweet it out later and watch it. So, but
Oh, he's already got a couple.
Yeah, I need to be the host again.
okay.
Okay. Give me a
Okay.
minute.
Eddie, I need to.
So this is how you do it, because you got to learn this too. So you go
Yes, Bitcoin for Girls. You can share this video, please do. It's the one we did Friday was for members only, but this one, hopefully everybody got this position on, and
There you go.
There's an advantage to being members, guys. I think that every member here should be able to attest that they, if they haven't gotten all their subscription back, they should have, because the information has been here. We've this year alone, I started with 0.6 Bitcoin, and we've taken out 30 Bitcoin, and we'll get to that later. But right now, we're focusing on the seasonal gold trade. I could call this Ugly Old Goat's $1 million gold trade, or $1 million trade for 2020. I think it's just going to be. I'd be surprised if I make less than $1 million on it. I only put up a Bitcoin, so I'm taking it all out. I was willing to put into 10 Bitcoin. I only put in 5, and I never had adversity of more than 1. I think about a half a Bitcoin was all I was down. But okay, so here we go, Galilee. You take it.
Yeah.
And when you're done,
don't end the meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, yeah. The internet just dropped. So
I'm gonna get coffee.
I was saying there's this guide that I wrote, and you will find it in the description. That gives you the step-by-step of how to sign up for Evolve and answers some of the most important questions I got. Why did I choose Evolve? There's a couple of different platforms out there. I chose Evolve because I looked at each one of them, and Evolve just gave me the best fees. And it's simply the cheapest one, so I chose that one for the fees. And as Ugly said, it's not super intuitive. I agree. It's not the most intuitive interface, but I can walk you through it to give you everything that you need. So in essence, when you sign up, the first thing you want to do is you want to go to here, the 3 stripes at the top, and you want to go to accounts and funds, and then you want to select whatever account you have here, go to settings and change that from hedging to netting. That allows you to have your whole position in one single position down there, which you will see in a second. So down here, you have your position overview. You see these numbers. Those are the numbers you want to pay attention to. Balance is whatever funds you transferred in. This is a demo account with 1 Bitcoin. And then you want to pay attention to equity and profit. Profit will change, obviously, with your P&L of the position. You can see that in a second. And then equity is balance plus profit, which is important because if your equity drops to 0, you will be liquidated. The account functions like a BitMEX cross-margin account. So there is no isolated margin. That means that if you open a gold trade and a silver trade and whatever S&P trade, they all count to the same balance. So if one of them goes farther down, it liquidates all of them. So just to keep that in mind, you can create different accounts by going to accounts and funds, add account for different positions. Let's say you want to trade gold and you want to trade silver. You can create two accounts to trade each position. Now, how do you put in orders? There's 3 different ways to put in orders. If you click on panels here, you can open show DOM, depth of market, which is the first way to do it. You can click on each one of these. Let's say you want to buy it to 2004, 15, you click here. Click here.
Eddie.
Doesn't want to. Anyway, you can also click just buy here, and then it should pop up. It's not doing that right now. There you go. So the other way is you have this little toolbar up here. You can click on buy or sell. If you click on buy or sell, this window pops up where you can put in limit or market orders. Let's put in a market order. 1 contract is 100 ounces. So what you see here is 0.01 contracts, which is equal to 1 ounce of gold. So if you want to buy 1 ounce of gold at market, you can just click buy, and you will see it pop up in your positions. Sometimes it takes a little bit, which is not ideal. But in a second, we'll see 1 ounce of gold in our position. Now, while that is working, it usually doesn't take that long. While it's doing that, another way to trade on this exchange is via MetaTrader. MetaTrader is used by a lot of different exchanges, especially in the traditional markets. And you can use the desktop app or the mobile app, or you can use the web trader, which is, it's not bad. If you're familiar with MetaTrader, that's a great way to do it. So if you want to use the web trader, you just click here, and it opens another window, the web trader inside, that you can activate. So let's go back here. It's not working. Ugly, are you still there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
We're watching.
Okay.
Learning.
Yeah, and Eddie's monitoring
the exchange sometimes
comments.
is
That's
not loading.
Eddie. But thanks, Bitcoin Motors, for looking out after us. I don't know what the comment was, but yeah, we want to keep it clean as much as possible.
So the exchange is not loading. Feels like my internet connection is not the best.
Yeah,
So let's look at the MetaTrader meantime.
There's people asking questions.
Yeah, ask all the questions you guys want. We'll get to them. So this is the time to post your questions. When he's done, then he can address the questions, and what he doesn't answer, I will be glad to answer. But he's the expert on this platform. I am not.
Yeah, I can answer any question, no problem. If I get the internet to show the platform, because right now it's not loading. But if there's any questions, Eddie, you can relay the questions and we can answer those questions while that platform is loading.
Here's one.
Okay, so then let's look at the MetaTrader web interface. This is
Okay, there's one
just
question.
simply a different way of
one guy
seeing
wants to
exactly the same
know
market.
advantage of Evolve over FTX for trading gold. Do you want to explain that one? Do you know the answer to that?
Yeah. I use both. FTX has a lot of different altcoin markets and other markets. For the gold market, the FTX markets are very illiquid. So you have on FTX, you have Pax Gold and you have XAUAT, which is basically the Tether version, the same company, Tether company with a gold backed coin. So they're the gold coins or gold cryptos, where each one of those crypto coins equals to 1 ounce of gold in a vault. If you want to buy it at spot, I think it's fairly okay. I would do a lot of research on the actual company. I think Pax Gold is more trustworthy than Gold Tether. The problem with trading them in large amounts with leverage is that they don't give you the liquidity. If you want to take out a position like Ugly with 500 ounces, you will buy the whole order book. So I don't recommend that for that. If you want to build big positions and trade with Bitcoin as collateral, you will have to use something like Evolve or others. But again, Evolve
So
is
basically,
the
the
cheapest
difference is
one in terms of fees.
the FX doesn't use collateral, doesn't use Bitcoin as collateral. You're actually just trading the gold and the dollar price with dollar collateral. Is that correct?
No, you can use Bitcoin as collateral. They pay out the winnings. They don't settle the trading in Bitcoin, but you can use Bitcoin as collateral.
Oh,
But
okay.
you will not be able to trade it in the same way with the same amounts, with the same leverage, and with the same position
Okay.
size.
Yeah, you want
But it's
liquidity, guys. You really do. It's worth a lot. I mean, I trade on BitMEX and the other exchanges. Okay, they're fine, but the big boys trade on BitMEX. I'm sorry. I know a lot of these guys, youngsters, don't like BitMEX. They don't understand how to use it or why it works the way it does. But there's really nothing. I'm glad to see the competition, but I don't see Bybit or Deribit really taking over the market anytime soon. Now, I might be wrong. If they do, then I'll be moving too, because big traders want lots of liquidity. Okay, go ahead. I'm done with
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
2 cents.
With my 2 cents.
So the short answer is liquidity, and I think it's a very important point. So I feel looks like we're back with this exchange, so I can show you how to buy at market or buy limit. Let's buy market here, 1 ounce, and we see it pop up here. We have the gold, we have 1 ounce, and this is our price, the entry price. This is the price that we are at right now. This is the profit and loss, which is
Looks like I just bought. I should have. I'm
wanna-
watching you, not my account, but it looks like I just bought back the trim that I sold at 207. I think I was buying it back under 2000. So I picked up a little bit. Hopefully, I bought it back, but I think I just bought it back.
Yeah, I think we didn't actually get below 2000. Not yet. I think you still
Or didn't go
haven't
down
bought it
there?
back,
I didn't
but
get
we
it
might
yet.
get there.
Where's my order?
No,
Okay.
looks like. So the bottom of this candle is 2001. So anyway, if you want
All
to
right.
put in limit orders, you can click the chart and then you can say buy limit here. You can increase the size in this window. So if you want to buy, let's say 10 ounces, you can click here, buy 10 ounces.
Here?
Oh,
I want to view my account.
And then just, let's say we layer in here, we layer some sell orders up here. And then the cool thing you can do is you can drag and drop those orders. So if you want to move that, say down,
Okay, I didn't get
you
it
just
yet.
drop it down and it should move it. Come on. It's not doing that right now, but it's probably because the internet's slow. So yeah, those are the most important parts. Yeah, now I did it. It's lagging a little bit. So those are the most important ways to put in limit orders. We have, actually it was not me, it was Mr. Person that created this spreadsheet where you can calculate your liquidation price, because the platform itself doesn't calculate liquidation prices. Obviously, they're always changing with the Bitcoin price because Bitcoin is the collateral. But we have a simple little spreadsheet where you can do that. We'll share that too in the description. You can just plug in your numbers and understand where your liquidation price is. So I think those are the most important parts to share. Is there anything else? Are there any questions? Or is there anything we forgot, Akli, that you saw?
Okay. No, I don't. I'm gonna go ahead and move up my order. I really don't want to be, I want to maintain that 5 Bitcoin positions. So I got a little profit. I think I'll just be happy with it. And because this is a long-term trade. So let me edit this. Again, I'm not very good at this platform.
Ugly, do you know that you can drag and drop your limit orders? So if you
Yeah.
if you click on the limit order, you can drag and drop it up like that.
Well, I'm not sure how to do that. I know how to do it this way. So, oh wait, I just hit the edit sign, I think. No, that didn't work. I'll worry about it later. I got it priced in there. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. No big deal. All right. So have you covered everything?
Yeah, I think the most important parts. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Always, also, if anybody has a question, you can always message me on Telegram. I'm happy to
Somebody's
answer any
asking, is there
questions,
any
with
other way
calculating
to
something.
play this gold move? Well, of course there is. One thing is it's a great time to be buying gold. I really do think that we finally are in a position, you know, back, I'm an old gold trader. I actually been and won IMF gold auctions back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s. I traded a lot of gold. This is a very strong seasonal play. So I'm not inexperienced in this at all. I'm very experienced in the gold market. You can just buy gold outright. That's the safest way. I do recommend that you have some gold in your possession. It's really not greatly useful, but it is, you know, within countries, it is within national jurisdictions. You know, both silver and gold are useful as barter. You know, the yeah, so you can buy it that way. You can buy it. Probably the most efficient way is to buy it on the COMEX futures. That's the way I used to do it. The spreads are almost nil, and you can actually take delivery of the gold. And there's about half a dozen or dozen approved warehouses, and you get a warehouse receipt, and you can go pick up your gold. I don't think they'll let you knock on the door and pick it up. You probably have to have an approved courier like Brinks or somebody or Wells Fargo or something like that to go pick up your gold and then deliver it to your house. But these are depositories and that can be easily exchanged and used for collateral. That's what banks used to do too. Banks had clearinghouses when they were on the gold standard, and if a bank was, you know, making loans that people thought, well, that doesn't look like a very good loan, then their reserves of gold would be drawn down, and that gold acts as a regulator or governor in the marketplace, and the money was actually money supply was actually increased and decreased by what E.C. Harwood outlined as sound commercial banking and what we now know or define as self-liquidating commercial paper. So you can actually create money, not ex nihilo, but it represents new goods coming into the marketplace. And as those goods are sold, those notes are retired. So you have a flexible money supply. And this is a service that banks provided, just like governments provide coinage. And coinage in the gold standard was not gold. It was nickel and copper and silver. And the face value of those coins or the intrinsic value of those coins was less than the face value. So that is the difference is called seigniorage, which that comes from the right of the king to provide that service. And it's a way that a government can actually have a revenue without taxation by providing a service as the national sovereign. And that's where the idea of I now forgot the term, but seigniorage comes from. And it used to be the prerogative of kings. As Bitcoin hodlers, we are the new kings. You are actually the kings of the world now. And we're a bunch of kings spread out all over the place, and we have no land jurisdiction, but we're searching. We're using our wealth to search for land jurisdiction. So it's a whole new world out there and very exciting. So I hope that answered your question. Okay. What about Prime XPT?
I have one more thing, Ugly, that I think it.
I don't know. Do you know anything about that Prime XPT? What's that one about? Is that him?
Yeah, so like that ties into what I wanted to say. If we look at the fees, why I chose Evolve is the biggest fee if you're a position trader is not actually the commission, because that's 0.035%. So basically nothing. And obviously the swap, the spread, you have.
Well, it looks like Evolve is a fairly efficient market because their funding rates are actually lower than the contango on the major futures exchanges. So in that sense, it's really not a bad deal. Now, the thing that is different that I don't really care for it, and where BitMEX is just way ahead of everybody on the funding, they're actually charging both the longs and the shorts funding. Now they are charging the shorts less funding, but I do think it's not near, it's really benefits us because basically the short should be getting paid to go short, and instead they're paying for that privilege and they're subsidizing us. So I think it's a mistake on the exchange part, but they're collecting on both sides. The way BitMEX does it is really ingenious. They don't get anything. Arthur Hayes understands how markets work. And the very fact that funding actually rewards one side and penalizes the other side makes it very, very useful to, not have unwarranted speculation. And it just, and he doesn't charge for that. It's completely free on BitMEX. They get nothing from that. And people they ignore some of the great benefits that Arthur Hayes has put there on BitMEX. And believe me, as an old timer, I really appreciate what he has done.
Yeah, just to finish my thought, I just got dropped out again. The reason why I didn't choose Prime XPT is because of the swap rate. The swap rate on Prime XPT is something like 4 to 5 times higher than on Evolve. So Ugly's paying like something like $30 a day. And on Prime XPT, he will be paying 120 to 150 bucks. So
yeah.
It's a huge difference.
And if you trim, like I've been, you can cover that and make it back. And I've actually, like I said, my position now is reduced a little bit. I had as much as, I actually had 5.5 on. I didn't realize I bought more back, and so I got out of that. But I plan on holding at least 400 ounces and just playing with the rest of the market. It looks like I should have bought that dip back, but oh well, if I miss it, it's no big deal, guys. There's always a market for another day. So yeah, this is not the easiest platform to use. And it doesn't work on my laptop screen as well as now the screen I'm currently on is my laptop is attached to a larger screen, and I have a much easier time using it. But when I'm at home, in my little closet with just my laptop, it gets a little frustrating. So, but I'm not planning on using this platform except for this one trade. It's just perfect.
Actually, I have a recommendation for you. I think it would be good if you have a Windows laptop to download the MetaTrader desktop app and then log in through that. I can help you set it up. Maybe I can help with Eddie, because then it's much smoother.
All right. Well, the problem is I got so many laptops. Every time I don't like to carry laptops around, so every place, I can afford the laptop, so I just put one in different rooms, and then I got to download every program on every one. But yeah, I'll put it on this one and then the other one. And like I said, I don't get too complicated. Once I'm able to do what I'm able to do, I'm pretty well, happy with it. So it's like cell phones. I mean,
a top-notch cell phone.
I can't figure out how to use this silly thing. So, but I seem to do okay without it. So.
Oh man.
No, lending out Bitcoins for 8% interest. Well, I don't know. You know, are you lending it out, or are you putting it on a platform and they're lending it out and holding your Bitcoin? Are you getting 8% interest on the dollar amount, or are you getting 8% if you know, are you getting 8% on the Bitcoin amount? So the question is not clear. I'm not using any of the platforms for that. My next project is I want to look into the Liquid and start using that for transferring funds. I think Liquid is probably the next generation of Bitcoin from my understanding. But I'm not familiar with it yet. I haven't put myself on there, but I definitely, you know, I'm a large enough trader and use, basically it's a way that you can move Bitcoin around between the exchanges instantly, and that because that's what's needed, particularly, you know, if you're trading sizable amounts. So that's where we are on that. But I mean, I can't recommend. I mean, Bitfinex offered interest in either dollars or Bitcoin, but they wound up, you know, everybody that did that wound up with a 30% haircut. Now, they did refinance it in a way, they socialized that loss, and everybody eventually got their money back if you accepted their tokens and sat on them. But that's your risk. I mean, that's where you know, commercial banking is going. And believe me, the bankers don't trust it. It's the banker's job to keep the game honest, and they do by watching each other. It's sort of like, the best analogy is probably like being a membership of a commodity futures exchange. The commercial members, you know, they realize that somebody's starting to get into trouble. They all have to bail them out. In other words, if you're a retail customer on the commodities market, now you can go broke and you can lose more than you put on with that broker. But if a member of the exchange goes under, all the other members have to contribute to bail that member out. And believe me, they've done it many, many times. And that's why the membership costs fluctuate tremendously, because if you're a member, that I don't know what a membership's worth now, but I know they would fluctuate anywhere from being worth $80,000 to a couple $1 million, because depending upon what was going on. Because if you have a membership and somebody just went broke and you're getting a big hit, you know, a tax or a bailout tax, you know, we have to kick in to bail out one of the failed members, that membership's not worth so much anymore. So that's how it will work. That's the way I see things evolving, but I don't know. We'll just wait and see. Yes, you're right. You do have the counter, and there is nothing really to have to these things being an exit scam. That's what all of these, I don't forgot the name of that plus token or whatever it was. There's been a lot of them around. I think that OneCoin was doing the same thing. A lot of these people, they're paying, you know, they have this payout, but then it's really an exit scam. It was set up to be an exit scam from the beginning. Liquid is not that way. Liquid is almost like everybody, you have to pay to be into it. And, you know, like I say, I'm not that familiar with it, but I know Adam Back has been behind it. And I have a very high regard for Adam Back, and I probably am a good candidate to use it. But for the smaller investor, you know, you don't need to. You know, things are going to be developing, and just be patient. Right now, the game is hodling Bitcoin. That is the game. And if you have Bitcoin, I think it's a good time to use it for collateral and take a speculative position in gold. That's what I have recommended. But don't put any more on this trade than you can afford to lose. I was willing to lose, to risk up to 10 Bitcoin. That would not affect me in the least had I lost that amount of Bitcoin. It wouldn't be pleasant. I don't want to, but that, to me, that's what this trade. Now, that's no longer, that's off the table, because we've already got the move. I've already trimmed. I'm not going to let this thing run into a loss. Hopefully we shouldn't go back down to test those lows. Maybe we will, but I can endure that. And the move actually starts in September, risking the August lows. So that's where we're at now. By 1st of September, who knows where gold could be? It could be sharply higher. I think there's going to be a lot of factors coming into play between now and the election. We just don't know what they are yet. And but it's coming. There's going to be a lot of FUD coming. That I think will benefit gold and Bitcoin. So. The only other thing that I might want to cover today is if you want to go into the Bitcoin dominance, I do think that I did it. If you check the Twitters, we did, or Eddie actually put it together. We did dollar cost averaging from, of course, we had already done from when Bitcoin Cash peaked. And it's always been negative. It's always been a losing dollar cost averaging. You were better off saving dollars until this last month. It finally did go positive for the first time. And then we did another study where we dollar cost average from the time that Bitcoin, we had the hard fork from Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. And the same thing happened there. Bitcoin Cash is it barely performs better than the dollar, whereas you almost 2x'd if you'd been dollar cost averaging Bitcoin. The interesting thing is we decided to do the same thing on Ethereum. I misread it initially because my bias is showing, but Ethereum actually dollar cost averaging Ethereum from the last peak. You actually perform better than Bitcoin. So I said, read them and weep, a Bitcoin maximalist, or even me, a Bitcoin standard bearer. We can't argue with the facts. It's a little bit misleading because that's only been the last 3 months. If you go back and look at that CSV file, for most of the time, Bitcoin outperformed Ethereum. It's just been on this last rally that Ethereum overtook Bitcoin for a little bit. I don't look for that to continue for fundamental reasons. I do look for Bitcoin dominance to resurge with a vengeance. I think there'll be a lot of cracks showing up in the weeks and months ahead with this DeFi stuff. And then I actually listened to the interview with Samson Mao and Vitalik Buterin by, who was it, Peter McCormick. Very good interview. And Samson Moe is just a cool guy because he really is very cool. He asked the right question and with perfect timing, so that we were really able to find out that, hey, you know what? Ethereum is very vulnerable. And apparently, the exchanges are concerned about it. That, if Infura, and I'm not really sure what Infura is because I'm not a developer, but if Infura, which is the way the exchanges have to use Ethereum, if it gets hacked, Ethereum's dead. And that's what I've said all along, that if this thing happens, it's going to be an overnight black swan event. So you just have to keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong if you to own these things, but don't confuse it with sound money, and you want to limit your risk. So you certainly keep that in the back of your head. I trade the alts. I don't hodl any of them because I find the best way to trade them is to use derivatives. So that's what I do.
Actually, Infura is the company that hosts all the nodes, all the Ethereum nodes.
Oh, okay. That's what holds all the Ethereum nodes. That's what it is. Okay. I'm glad you understand.
The problem with Ethereum is that nobody can run a node, basically. There's like
right. And that was the other
there.
question that was asked right after that. So it was, to me, it was really a devastating interview. And I have a follower here that cuts those. And so I sent it to him and he made a cut on it and I tweeted it out. I was hoping it'd get a lot of following, but it didn't. Tone Base did pick up on the dollar cost averaging. So, which is my number one recommendation. You don't need to be trading this stuff until, in fact, you shouldn't be trading Bitcoin until you have a hodl. So, you know, if you're working stiff, and hey, believe me, I've been a working stiff my whole life. Just keep on working, learn all you can, and keep hodling. And you know, one of these days you'll be ready to get in here and trade. Everything you need to. I was going to also recommend, if you're watching this and you're thinking about subscribing to my newsletter, I don't recommend you do that unless you have at least, you know, 1, 2, or 3 Bitcoin hodl. It's because I charge, it's a steep premium. I think it's worth it, but you don't need it. My article, 99% of my content is free. You just can go to the website, or better yet, go into Medium and, you know, have fun. But if you want to learn how to trade or TA, there's 2 very inexpensive ways to do it. Tone Bays has a whole tab on his website that's free. And Socrates, who's going to be on the show, I think tomorrow, he outlined a very thorough TA section in the book, Tyler Jenks and Leah Wald's Hyperwave. So, and that's $10. So for $10 and a free website, you can learn TA. What I teach is actually equity trading. That I don't think the most, to me, technical analysis and fundamentals are completely worthless if you don't first have good money management. So if you can do that, fundamentals and TA fall into place. So that's what I teach. Okay, and Hurley D'Souza, that is Evolve, is where we are trading it. And there's links to this. You can sign up under those links.
Yeah, I'll post the steps that he sent right now too once we're done. So
Okay.
there should be more info.
There'll be more info posted on this video. So, all right, we can briefly look at the market. We've got.
Click on the image over there.
Let's. You know what? I'm going to pick up the equity app first, so you can look at that. People can look at my equity app. Now I got to go to share. Can I go to share screen?
Go to the
Minimize
Zoom
this.
icon over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it bigger.
This?
Yeah.
I'm not on it.
Well,
Do I need to minimize this?
yeah, minimize that first. Minimize. There we go.
Now go.
There.
Make
Yeah.
it bigger. How do I do that?
Click the green arrow. There we
Okay.
go.
All right.
The
Share screen.
There you go. Yep. Yes.
Okay.
And there it is.
Okay. There's the equity
And
app.
share.
Share. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Just so you guys know, this is,
There it
if you're new here, this is the actual equity app in action. This year, I've actually taken out 30 Bitcoin. I started with 0.6 Bitcoin. And then here in the beginning part of August, I just got out of everything and I started all over again with 1.8 Bitcoin. And right now that's at about 2.2. So this is an hourly chart. This is not any market. This is my equity, my actual equity, which is available to all subscribers. So they see this is really what I'm trading, not the charts, which is kind of a difficult concept to understand. But once you get it and it clicks, it really will just change your thinking. I can kind of show you. I'll do a long time frame so you can see how I got that 30 out of here. Let me see if I can do the 1 week chart. There we are. So back here, this is where I started. Actually, this is January, and this goes back to November. I had a little equity downturn, and then in the beginning of the year, I started in January here with just 0.6 Bitcoin, and I ran it up to where I had maybe a couple Bitcoin, and then of course we had this. This is March 11th. This is the what everybody called Black Thursday, but as you see, for me, it was Green Thursday. I actually got wrecked with everybody else, but I always say, always keep your powder dry, be ready to step back in. I immediately sent funds back on the exchange. I think I bought it. I thought I did a great job of buying it, a fairly large position. I don't remember what, but probably at least a half, at least 200,000 to 500,000 Bitcoin at a little above 5,000 and got wrecked at 4,700. We all went to the doctor because I think we might have had coronavirus or whatever, and came back and it was under 4,000, and I was able to just pick up 40,000 Bitcoin. So you can see, now I did have to add a little bit to my account, I think another 0.6, but I started with 0.6, I added maybe 0.6 here. I've taken all that. From here to this green spike, I actually took out 30 Bitcoin from here, and currently I'm trading with a little over 2. So I've taken the 0.6 and gotten it up to over 32. One of the things that I teach is that a lot of large traders become small traders. There's some small traders, hopefully you guys will become large traders, and the wise large traders choose to become small traders again. And you'll see that that's what I do. And I get kind of mocked sometimes by some of the big boys, but I guarantee you, with a lot of these big guys, I get completely ruined. And they're also trading with funds, and I'm not. I only trade for, I don't even trade for myself. I trade for the goat lady, my wife. And so, and I don't trade, she trades. I'm her advisor. So, but she lets me handle her accounts too. So, so that's the end of that one. Let's go out of screen share. How do I get out of that? Stop share, and let's go to the new share.
Minimize that one first.
Minimize this. Okay. Now I
Actually, the equity app, yeah.
get out of this. Now here we are. Okay.
Go to the.
Let's go to here. And here is my.
You gotta share it first. There you go.
Here, clear.
Green arrow.
Green arrow, share. All right, here we are.
Yeah,
This one?
No, the bottom one.
That's equity app.
No,
This
it's
one,
right there.
this one.
There it is.
Okay,
And share.
all right.
There you go.
So here we are. This is what I am currently trading. Again, I started over just, I don't know, last week when I got back with 1.8 Bitcoin. I've got it up to 2.2, which is just a nice little steady equity rise. You can see my positions are on here. I'm really not net the market at all. I'm doing a lot of arbitrage between the alts. I'm really trading Bitcoin dominance here more than anything. I don't know. There's a good chance we're at the turning point now, but it may resume its trend, and the altcoins may still have a little bit of spirit left in them. But let's go look. And what's this? That's the gold. I don't want that. Let's see the Bitcoin. I think this is it. There you go. This is what I want to look at. This is the Bitcoin dominance. That is the daily. We have this little 9, and so I was very excited about that. If you go to the 30-minute, you'll see what's happened here. And so at this turning point, we had a 9 in here on the 30-minute. We had a 9 down here on the 1 hour, and let's see what the 4 hour, I don't know what it did, but anyway, things were lining up. And I did it primarily because this daily was coming up, and so everything clicked. So I'm playing this move. I don't know, so far it has not followed through. If you go to the weekly, we could reverse here. We just don't know. When it does, I think it'll happen all at once. I think it's gonna, and how much effect it will have, which way that's going to affect Bitcoin, we don't know, because I'm playing the dominance play. I'm not playing a net either way right now. And here we are on the monthly. The monthly says, hey, these alts have not run out of steam yet. So that's possible too. So I do like Tom Vay's sequential for timing. It's probably about as good as it comes. I don't trade it exclusively. I use it. It's the last thing I look at, along with a lot of other factors, which I do outline as best I can on the trading group. So, okay, so let's go back. We can now go look at the gold trade. Here we are. Again, I didn't get bought. I had my orders down here, a little under 2,000 to buy back what I sold up there too. I've been in and out several times, got a nice position. This is all, this equity is is completely what other traders now have given me, because I've taken out everything that I put in. So I'm trading now in what's called OPM. I'm trading with what the market's given me. I'm not planning on adding anything to this. If I can't make this work and have 2.5 Bitcoin on the exchange, then I deserve to lose it all. So, because I am right now in the driver's seat, and I'm not very well positioned and not over committed, and basically anything I do in here it's a freebie. The rest of the traders have allowed me to get some of their equity, and now I'm trading with their equity, and I really thank those traders for their support, because Ugly is very stingy. He doesn't like to trade with his own money. He likes to trade with your money, and that's why we like goat food as records. We like to use goat stops, so we have we don't want to get blown out of the market. We don't trade the wiggle waggles. We don't trade these candles of the market. We are trading our own equity, and that's what I showed you before with the equity app. And I think if it will change your whole thinking on how to look at it. I'm not diminishing the value of fundamentals. I'm a big believer in fundamentals. This seasonal trade is a fundamental trade. I'm also a big believer in technical analysis. But I found that the best way for you, particularly if you're not a successful trader, is you just throw everything you've learned out the window. Forget all the TA you've ever learned. You got to learn money management. You have to learn to trade your equity, because once you do that, you'll find out, hey, all these other things aren't that important. There's a lot of better technical traders out there than I am, but so many of them get wiped out, or their personal fortunes do not reflect their abilities. Well, mine do consistently. I can, say that I don't make any money. I have another side business and I've made if you notice, I don't have a lot of referral links or anything like that. We're going to try and build a little store and stuff. But this broadcast has been made possible by all my current members. And when I started, I risked 10 Bitcoin. I did the same money management that I do in trading and everything else. I put up, you know what, I want to try this thing. I'll sell lifetime memberships, my life, not yours. And as I was able to generate enough, so I'm no longer risking my 10 Bitcoin, because I had enough subscribers and I'm not taking anything out of Ugly Old Goat. Everything that we make from this website, we put in my subscribers. We put right back in developing other tools and stuff. So that's what we're doing here. We no longer have the charter lifetime membership. So you guys that are charter lifetime memberships, you've got the bargain. That model does not work in the long run. You have to have a subscription model. So if you're new here and watching this broadcast and you're considering becoming a member, it's only for a year, and then you'll have a renewal. We haven't set the renewal up, but I'm anticipating that it'd be about the equivalent of about $200 a year. What you do get with subscribing that lifetime members do not have, that is the equity app. They did have to purchase that separately because it's a member that developed that. But it's such a great app that I'm purchasing those from Victor Villacana, who developed it, and that's one of the bonuses you get for being a subscriber. And you also get his support for the entire year and each renewal year. So, and he's constantly developing this thing. It's really getting more and more sophisticated every day. I'm not good at the technical stuff, guys. I'm not good at learning these platforms. I'm very comfortable on BitMEX, but every time I go to another one, I get thrown for a loop. So I'm not planning on switching. Also want to announce that tomorrow we're getting, I think we're going to be doing a show with Socrates. He's going to be explaining all of the inner workings of BitMEX and how their liquidations work, and the best way to capitalize or save money on the exchange that way. I just use I basically am paid to trade there because I'm 80 to 90% of the time a market maker, and when I do get wrecked, then I have that's the exception. And I get wrecked, several times a year, but I get wrecked and not ruined. And if I get wrecked, it's simply, that's what I had on the exchange. I knew I could lose that much. But you don't want to get wrecked that way. I stopped trading in August, not because I got wrecked, but my equity started to go down. I said, you know what? I don't want it to go down anymore. I'm going to become a small trader again. I took 12 Bitcoin off the exchange, left 1.8, and now I've been trading with 1.8. Hopefully I'll build that up and take another 30 Bitcoin out by the end of the year. Maybe I won't, but I won't be losing much. I guarantee you that. That's how you play the game. That's what we're doing. This gold play. This gold play it's kind of, I think somebody figured it out. The way I figured it out, if I have 500 ounces on and it goes to $6,000, I think I take out $2 million. So other people, if there's actually probably share. Let's see if I can pull that up on the Telegram group and share. Here's a picture of the Telegram group, guys. If you can see this, and
no, actually, you have to get out of there first.
Oh, I got to get out. Stop.
Yeah, stop share.
Stop share. Okay.
And then I'll go move around here. The share.
Screen share. Okay.
And then Telegram.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to share the Telegram group so you guys can get a kind of a feel for it. It's really been a good group. I mean, I'm really proud of you guys who keep on here. But you can see, let's see, there's all kinds
You're
of stuff.
sharing our conversation, Ugly. That's not the group.
Yeah.
That's our direct message.
I'm sharing what?
You're sharing the direct message between me and you. You have to
Oh,
click on
my
the-
bad. Okay. See, that
Right
shows
here.
how bad I am. Okay, there we go. There's the trading room. Okay. I was wondering, so this doesn't look familiar. What in the heck? All right, that's private messaging. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I've been sharing. There's a screenshot. I regularly screenshot the stuff. And I can hit this, and then somewhere up here we can show somebody calculated, where's my risk now? What does it look like if the market does this? I know that's on here somewhere. Here's one. Here's one. Oh, this one. He's calculated my liquidation price, which is nice. I couldn't do that. I mean, I knew in my head where it was roughly. Or here we go. Here's another one that Galileo did.
That's actually-
Galileo. Yeah.
I'm gonna put that spreadsheet in the description as well, so you can plug in your own numbers, whoever is.
Yeah, so here's that. Let's see. Here's the liquid. He's done this. I haven't figured out how cool, right? But here it is. Boom. All right. And this is a very good summary. Guys, I'm not a very good teacher. Galilee is an excellent teacher. I mean, look at this. This is amazing. It really is. I mean, I'm learning from it myself. So he kind of capitalized all of my what I was teaching on the Telegram, and he said, okay, here's what I did during the Telegram group. I ignored the Hong Kong market. I told people 99% of the time New York COMEX dominates in the gold market. Gold tends to bottom in August and then move up for the rest of the year. Yeah. It also tends to V bottom, which is why I have had the confidence to jump right in. It could have gone down there. I was prepared for it, but I wasn't going to wait for it. I just wasn't, because the V bottoms are very common in gold. It took out the 2-week low and recovered and closed higher, which is bullish. Gold made a new high. Another thing too, silver took out the previous week's low, but not the 2-week low. So that was another thing that indicated gold made new highs while silver did not. Zero resistance above gold. Yeah, we start making new contract highs again. There's no resistance. Silver has resistance all the way up, just what, 50 or 60 bucks. And so the next move is not going to be silver. It's going to be gold. Gold is a traditional market with long trends. So I don't mind holding this position for months. Exactly. That's what this is. That's why I call it. This is actually, I think it's a $2 million gold trade.
Ugly, you're not sharing that.
I'm not?
That spreadsheet is not on the, no, it's not on the screen share.
how do
You
I
have to
do
probably
that?
drag
I probably have
it
to
in
get,
there.
I'll stop screen sharing and go back. Let's see. Stop. Share screen.
Also, it was not me, so it was Mr. Person.
All right. Is it showing
Gotta
now?
give the right
See it
credit.
now? You guys see it now?
Yes, that's
Is that it?
how we see it. Yep.
Okay. So this is the work of Galilee, and it's really just excellent. I mean, I've maybe covered
It was actually not me, Ugly. It was Mr. Person as another member.
Oh, it was another member. Well, okay, this is what I'm saying. You guys are taking over this thing. You know, you're figuring out I'm really not that smart, and that's good, because you guys, I keep telling you, you guys are all going to become better traders than I ever have been or will be. I'm just reteaching you how to think, because a trader, you can't think like everybody teaches you to think. Why do you think 95% of them lose? Well, because they're all thinking alike. And, you know, like they wonder, well, why did I pick to sell at 20,011? And I don't know why. There's no magic points. It was just, that was a good point. And it was a rally, and it's trimming, and there's no magic beans. And I don't, you know, when guys call markets, I never say that I call it, because I don't predict. I can't. I don't know where it's going. And since I don't know where the market is going, I trade accordingly. So there are a lot of principles you can use trading that way. And it's got nothing to do with prediction. Nothing. Absolutely nothing to do with prediction. But it is being able to stick with winners and cutting those losers off quick. Build momentum indicators. I talked about that. I haven't been doing it myself, but in my day, I used to go through and study historical charts, and then I would measure the peaks and the valleys and create a momentum indicator. And if I remember right, I think I used 60 days on copper, which just worked beautifully. You'd only take a position in copper every few years, and then sometimes I would hold those things for 6 months. It was a position play. And the same thing, I think silver was 20 days. I don't know if I found a gold one or not. I don't remember. So, and then I also warn people that September will be a monthly 9 on gold, but that doesn't mean very much, because that's a 30-day calendar. And, you know, the biggest parts of moves happen in a very short period of time. When we went above 7,500 in Bitcoin, it only took a matter of a couple of weeks, and we went from 7,500 to over 20,000. And so you don't want to miss that move. And that's what we're playing for. So, okay. So the track record, actually on the 14th, I bought 5 at 1951. Yeah. And actually, I think at 46, I trimmed it like 1966. So anyway, I trimmed a little bit, and then I added 4 Bitcoin to the account, because I didn't want to risk any liquidation, and I was willing to send another 5 Bitcoin in there if we retested that 1863. I didn't think we would, and we didn't. So I played it correctly, but I was willing to if we did. That's the whole point. And I was prepared mentally if I did. I was prepared to risk. Just like when I started the Ugly Old Goat website, I was prepared to risk 10 Bitcoin and lose it completely to try and create this website. Well, it paid off. You guys, I got enough subscribers that I don't have to risk that 10 Bitcoin anymore. I just risk your subscriptions for everything new that we do. Okay, and then yesterday was the 16th. That was an outside day, and I was looking to trim. I pulled those trim orders once we went up, and I did trim at the 211, 2011, and I already bought that back. So anyway, there's just a lot of stuff going on this Telegram group, and I'm going to stop the share now. And I think I figured this out. And then I can go screen share again and go to this one and share. And now I can get out of this. Boom. Maybe I can't. All right. Okay, so there it should be showing the BitMEX account. And here is the gold trade account. I'm still in there, still a little bit light. I'm hoping to buy a little under 2,000, buy that half of it, that 50 ounces that I sold just to trim. Anyway, this is still a great play. I think it's going to be good at least till mid-October. It could be as good as 6 months. I mean, this thing could be going into a roaring bull market and stay there, through January, February or longer. So we'll just see. And I'm not. I think there's a lot of risk right now in Bitcoin and especially the alts. If you look at the, we can go and look at the. Let's go look at the Contango. If you're new here and you don't understand what Contango is, I'm going to put it on Bitcoin, and you'll see right now we have about 170. Contango SEP is about 170 over the perp contract. Just yesterday, it was out about 270. So if you look at my position, I'm actually have a little play here where I am long the perp contract, which is close equivalent being spot or close to it, and short the September. And that I will pick up that $160 between now and expiry. I already picked up over $100 overnight. And so that's how you play this thing. The Contango is reasonable again. I just thought it was a little too wide at 260. I'm very concerned about these markets. We can kind of look at the long-term charts. I just think that if you go to the weekly chart has been moving up. The 2-week low is now down here. If we go to Bitcoin, the 2-week low is, let's go to Bitstamp, up here and actually it's going to be a 3-week low if we take it down through there. I mean, it's just hard to know. I'm just not real excited about this market. Everybody's bullish now, and I would not be surprised that we take this thing down well below 10,000 again and go into backwardization. I'm not playing that. I'm certainly not short. I am net long of Bitcoin very, very lightly. That's the way I'm playing it. If you notice here, I am long of 30,000 in the December, and I'm short and I'm long 1,000. So I'm long $40,000 in Bitcoin, and I'm short 10,000 this September. I'm also short the XRP, and that's got a profit in it. I'm short Ethereum, and that has a nice profit in it. I am short Bitcoin not Bitcoin, Litecoin, and I'm just about break even. If you notice, I've trimmed that already. So I have a realized profit of 0.19 and a net loss of market loss of 0.02. So I'm kind of break even there. But the important thing is up here, this margin balance on my equity. That's what I'm keeping my eye on. Remember, I started at 1.8 about a week or two ago. It's now 2.2. And remember, I had a large position on in July, end of July and beginning of August, and it worked very well until it stopped. And when it stopped, I decided, you know what? I don't need to be a big trader anymore. I'm going to be a little trader. So, but I'm much bigger than I was on January 1st. On January 1st, I just started with 0.6 Bitcoin. So I started with 3 times that this time. So you see how that works? You don't, and there's other things to life besides trading. And, you know, that's why the way I teach is very simple. First you hodl, okay, and then you save, and by save, it's a bastardization of the word savvy, and SAYVV, because if you're a hodler, you're also savvy, and if you're savvy, you're going to reward you and your family occasionally for being so smart. So, like when the goat lady wants a new truck or wants to build a house or something, I reward her. Well, okay, go for it. It might be something so small as updating your laptop, but you want to, you know, or taking your wife out to dinner, but you do, or a cell phone, but you do want to reward yourself and your loved ones for being successful. It will keep your mind straight and positive, and focus on what things you need to do. And then the last thing is you build a. Now you build up because you're on the Bitcoin standard. Bitcoin is your focus, your central point to everything else that you do. It doesn't mean you have to learn everything about Bitcoin or develop a website or anything like that. It means that whatever you do, whether you have a car wash or you're a dentist, you know, or an engineer, whatever you are, be the very best in it. And, you know, develop those skills and then become eventually, hopefully, if you're working for someone, have a goal of becoming an entrepreneur. The future in Bitcoin is not going to be banking the unbanked. The future in Bitcoin is going to come from the marketplace, from entrepreneurs. And there's only 2 kinds of entrepreneurs in the world. There's those that have Bitcoin and those that don't. And so my mission, and I think where the next big bull move in Bitcoin is coming, is as more and more entrepreneurs recognize the usefulness of Bitcoin as a standard store of value and standard of account. That's what the Bitcoin standard is. And the gold standard didn't mean a lot of gold was being traded. Gold didn't circulate as coinage, but everything was priced. It was built on a standard of gold. And that's what commercial banking developed. It was built on the gold standard. The gold was held as a reserve. The money supply was increased as new goods came into the marketplace. And as people were paid, because let's say you're making cars or widgets, the bank would loan a certain percentage of what they would estimate those cars or widgets were worth. You could then pay your suppliers, pay your workers, and pay people, and that you're actually creating money, not ex nihilo, not out of nothing, but as collateralized by your new production, by being a producer in the marketplace. And banks were rewarded for creating this mechanism, and it's called self-liquidating commercial paper. It's non-inflationary money creation because the notes are created with fully collateralized new production. And then as that new production is purchased in the marketplace, the notes are retired. And so, you know, rather than that's why I'm not a monetarist. Milton Friedman wrote me when I wrote a criticism of Murray Rothbard's the case for 100% gold dollar. I called Murray Rothbard a gold socialist. And I love Milton Friedman for his view on freedom and free enterprise, but I'm certainly not a monetarist. I mean, understand his thinking. He says, if we are going to have a centralized monetary authority, we should just inflate it at a constant rate every year. I think he came up with 5% or something, but it doesn't work that way. Once you can do it a little bit, then you can you're going to argue over, it's kind of like socialism. Well, we didn't get it right this time. But this next time we will. But money doesn't work that way. And banks were actually able to come up with a mechanism where you could create non-inflationary purchasing media that would be created and then retired as the markets evolved. And it was under that system that the world had the greatest progress and peace and a world of relatively peace of all time. And that was in the late 19th century. Okay, you want to know, I'm not going to give any tax advice. You need to have a good accountant. I can't, if you're a U.S. citizen, you're not supposed to be trading on BitMEX. I mean, I'm not going to tell you, there, I mean, a lot of U.S. citizens do, but you know, you have to, I'm not going to advise you how to do it. BitMEX doesn't want you on there. So, I mean, the way I do it is I have a beautiful Mexican wife. So, and she trades on it. So
Get yourself.
I got, get yourself, yeah, you want to trade on BitMEX, get yourself a beautiful, you know, there's a song about American Woman. Maybe I need to play that one. And the American Woman, you know, that song. And maybe you need to play that one and, you know, blame your wife that you can't trade on BitMEX. The other thing that you need to do is don't blame BitMEX. Go to your congressman. I mean, your government is the one that's doing it. The United States government taxes everything you make anywhere in the world. And so I'm right now playing that game. I pay my taxes every year. I don't evade taxes. Tax avoidance is perfectly legal. That's why you have an accountant. You pay the least amount that is due. I mean, whatever is due, you pay, but that's it. Don't pay any more. That's why, you know, you definitely want to have your own business, because the best tax write-off you can have is a business, because you can deduct, you know, so many of your expenses that you can't otherwise. Hopefully the future is, it's not going to be for me to live and to see it, but I think a very effective campaign, simple campaign, is simply for a presidential candidate to say, you know what, I promise that the United States government will no longer tax your labor. People's labor should never be taxed. And that wasn't in the original founding document. It wasn't allowed. They had to pass an amendment to tax income, and you know, that needs to be undone. And I think that there'll be, as you'll see who the victims are of this 120-year inflationary cycle, if we are to correct it, elimination of the income tax will go hand in hand, just like when they overcame prohibition. Prohibition, it only took a decade or two to figure out it was a mistake. This mistake of income tax has taken so far 4 generations, and so it is ripe to be changed. I don't know. Right now, all you need is a email address on BitMEX, and you certainly don't want to log in. The goat lady actually logged in Mexico on her United States cell phone, and they shut down the account. She was already KYC'd, so we brought that out, and then we sent the documents again. We said, look, we're KYC'd. I'm not a U.S. She said, I'm not a U.S. citizen. I didn't log in from the United States. I'm not in the United States. I simply used a cell phone with a U.S. number on it that has a U.S. plan. I'm also concerned we were out isolated where there was no cell phone service, but there's satellite service. And I didn't ever resolve that issue, but I think a lot of the satellite services are tied to a US VPN. So you need to use a VPN service if it's showing up, if it's satellite and you're in Mexico and the service provider is operating out of the United States, log into Mexico, they could shut down your account because they don't know. They judge it by your ISP number or whatever. Again, I'm not the technical guy. All right. Well, we are done. I hope everybody, if you're going to get on board this seasonal gold trade, I hope you already got on board. We certainly had lots of time. So what?
Stop the share.
Stop the share. Okay. Go here?
No. Here.
Here?
There.
Here?
No, quickly.
Oh, here. Okay. Okay. All right. That's just me.
No, you'd say Galilee's still there.
Okay, guys. Then what are they seeing? Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So any more questions or are we done? What did it hit this? How do I make it so I see what they see?
Okay.
Oh, this.
Success.
All right. So are we done?
Done.
All right. Is that
Yeah.
Juan just walked in. So Juan is back
Oh,
and we will be doing a show tomorrow. What time is the show tomorrow? We're going to be doing
3:30 p.m. PST. We're about to put out the tweet. I'm just waiting for you to finish so we can tweet it out. And so it's 3:30 p.m. PST.
Yeah, this should be a great show. So be thinking about what you want to ask Socrates. I wanted to really outline because I'm a terrible teacher. He's figured out all this stuff on mechanics. He's a great teacher. He wrote his book, but it has great TA on it. And we can maybe pick his brain a little bit, particularly on hyperwave, where Bitcoin is on the hyperwave, and whether or not gold is hyperwave. I don't know by the definition. I don't think it is yet. It's probably getting closer. It's there. I'm not sure, but I think it will be. The hyperwave technical is very well defined. I look at it fundamentally, and so that's why I recommend the dollar cost averaging, because I think Bitcoin is a hyperwave. If there's ever been a hyperwave, it is Bitcoin. And it's the only one there. As far as is gold a hyperwave now, I'm not sure by the parameters if it is. It certainly has that potential if it's not already. And the fact that we hit these contract highs and we had the sell-off in August, it's, to me, we pretty well set, we got the setup to take this thing to levels that we really expected it to go back in the 1980s when we had 20% interest rates and so forth. And Reagan was able to put the damper on all that, and we really we were able to go a whole new generation without facing the consequences of destroying our money. We're not going to get by with it this time, I don't think so, but we shall see. All right. Yes, you do get they don't take your funds. You're allowed some, they only allow liquidation, and they allow, I don't know, 5 or 10 days to liquidate the account, and then you get it sent to you. So they're not stealing your funds. It's just, and you got to understand why they're doing it, guys. They don't want to come under the thumb of U.S. regulatory agencies, and I don't blame them. And so they can show by good faith that, we're not doing it. If we have any knowledge that even you're possibly a U.S. citizen or trading from the U.S., we shut down the accounts. And I know that seems unfair. I know that my good friend Tone had recommended BitMEX for years, and then he traded, and he was a U.S. citizen. They shut it down. He lost all of his referrals, which he's put a lot of money and time and effort teaching people, and it was the only income really, except for running his seminars, that he had, and that was all just taken away from him. And I get it, that hurts. I had the same thing. I didn't know at the time, and so I had my referral code. I didn't make much, but I do think I picked up a half or a third of two-thirds or three-quarters of Bitcoin in a year, which is nice, nice little side income. But they closed me down, and they can't pay you, because now if they show that, the U.S. government can, we show Tove, you see these U.S. citizens, and they're doing affiliate links, and you're paying these guys, so you really are, you really have, flagged U.S. jurisdiction, and so they have no choice. And I get it, it's not fair, but don't blame BitMEX, blame your government, go to your congressman, change the law. We need to get out of everybody's business. We need to not be the world's policeman. I'm down here in Mexico. I feel safer having both my real feet in Mexico. I still have a toe in the United States. I still go across the border regularly. But I am much more afraid of what's going on in the United States than anything I see or do down here in Mexico. And I have illustrated to people that the border is set up now. They have they're going to have kiosk stands as you leave. You've always been able to freely leave the United States and drive into Mexico. But the United States they've got all the kiosks set up. So they're going to have somebody there and you're not going to be able to leave without government approval. That is already there. I don't know if the legislation's passed, but they've already built the infrastructure. So, it's like, build it and they shall come, about that baseball field built in the middle of Iowa. Huh? Field of Dreams. Yeah, the Field of Dreams. And the U.S. government, even under Trump, they're still building their Field of Dreams of controlling the world.
If you build it, they will come.
Yes, I agree. What is happening in the United States is very worrisome, and I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's going to get worse before it can get better. I hope I'm wrong. So, I don't know if it's like that. Yeah, as far as surveillance is concerned, it probably is like the old Stasi or East Germany. It's that bad. So, at any rate, they probably know my brand of underwear. So. All right, so we are done here. Galilee, thank you so much, man. You did a great job. You ought to do, you're a good teacher. You ought to do more of this.
Yeah, maybe we can do more of this if there's something else to teach. It's my pleasure, guys.
Impressed. Yeah, and there's so many of you guys, like the guy that did the calculator. I got to look. I mean, this is all, it's like Bitcoin, guys. It's all emerging organically. I'm not organizing it. You're doing it. And that's what's going to happen. That's what is happening on this equity app. I knew what I was doing, and I said, we got to do the sequential, but don't do it on the market, do it on our own equity. Everybody's will be different. Everybody's chart's going to be different, but that's how you can learn to trade. You're trading because you're not trading the market. You're trading you're trading what you are worth. Only you know what your assets are. And maybe you have little or nothing. That's fine. I had nothing. So you can have nothing, but as you build, you have to learn to manage it. And then once you do that, now you can apply those fundamentals. Now you can apply this TA. But you can be the best TA analyst, and there's a lot of good ones out there, better than I am. But they still wind up losing their shirts because they're not implementing the most important secret to success, and that's money management. And the same with fundamentalists. I mean, a lot of it's correct to be fundamentally bullish on Bitcoin. I am. But a lot of people hodl, and they never sold out anywhere along the line until they were forced to. And whereas if you recognize, at least sell a portion, when it was over 20,000, I didn't get rid of my hodl, but I sold Bitcoin up there. I use the example of, buy limbo here, sell limbo here. And the goat lady did just that. Bitcoin was way up. She went and bought a new truck. And one of those, Raptors. She got a Raptor. I love that thing. She drove it for a year, sold the Raptor, traded in for a whole bunch of equipment. And the equivalent was, she bought that truck for, I think, 6 Bitcoin or 7, maybe less. Yeah, about 6 Bitcoin. No, 3 Bitcoin, because it was about 60 grand. So we only had to sell like 3 Bitcoin. And she was able to, when she sold that truck, she was able to get, 30, 28 or a whole bunch more Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, when she sold it a year later, Bitcoin was at 3,500. Well, I know other people that were hodling and they didn't ever get out. And then something happened. Somebody died, they had to pay for a funeral, emergency came up, and they had to sell out part of the hodl at the bottom. And so you do want to have control over that situation. And you do want to have a flexible hodl. You want it to constantly go up if you can, but you have it there. So it's going to go in dollar terms. It always goes up eventually. My hodl is not as large. It's been larger than it is now, but I didn't have this trading room. I didn't have the Bitcoin house. We didn't.
I remember that.
We didn't. We were living. Yeah, we were working out of a closet in Zorrillo.
A small little closet. I remember that.
Yeah, and so that's what you got to. you know, you gotta, there's more to life than hodling too. So it's a question of, and that's what Juan is here helping us with. I have a lot more to learn about this, and he's learning too. We want to teach people how you put yourself on the Bitcoin standard. And that's what it is. And it's all new territory, guys. And you guys are already showing it. Look what you're doing on this website. You're inventing things that didn't exist before. Okay, the equity app, you get that free. Subscribers get it free. Now that's the new promotion, and you can purchase it directly from Victor, and it is, I think, like $300. Or I give it away as part of the subscription. The subscription is 0.1 Bitcoin. But if you use any of the existing members' affiliate code, you get a 15% discount. So it's 0.85 Bitcoin. And the person who's use affiliate code, they get a little bonus too. 10% of your 0.85, they get a little reward. So it's just a way that, you know, we're all getting on this new standard. And yeah, the equity app, I mean, I know it's turned a lot of people's trading around. I kind of learned it naturally, but a lot of people, it's easier if they can quantify it, just like these guys that build these spreadsheets. And, you know, you don't need that for trading, but boy, it sure makes it useful. And you know, I had to have somebody teach me how to use this Evolve website. It's not an easy thing to, I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't. And then I found out where I could do it, but then I didn't really know how to operate the thing. So we have to help each other out. So that's what we're going to have Socrates on for tomorrow, because he's a great teacher, much better than I am. So I don't think he's a bad trader either. I don't know, but I know that he's really good at teaching, and he loves teaching it, and you can just see it in the glow on his face when he teaches. So he's
tomorrow at 3:30, right?
3:30 tomorrow.
That's right.
So that'll not, yeah, that's Pacific time. So we'll be good time in the US. Probably won't be a very good time in Europe.
We just
But-
tweeted it out, so it's on Twitter. You guys, it's
Okay.
on your Twitter, so you guys can find it there with the link. The YouTube link's already created, so
All right.
see you guys there.
All right. So we'll see you guys all tomorrow, and looking forward to this gold trade. We'll see if it's $1 million trade or not. See if I can take, well, I don't have anything now. I'm just see if I can take some of these other traders' money and use it to take out $1 million in Bitcoin. I think it's possible. I don't know if we'll pull it off or not, but you know what? I'm the GOAT, and I got to live up to that. So I didn't know. That's another little story. I did not know when I took the title GOAT that meant greatest of all time. But you know what? When my son pointed it out to me, I said, "Oh my!" So now I have to kind of try and live up to that moniker. So, all right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
And okay, so long, guys.